The wind howled through the mountains surrounding Jericho, whipping around the ancient city walls like a furious beast. Inside the city, the king paced back and forth in his throne room, anxiety gnawing at him. For 7 days, the Israelites had been circling the city 7 times a day. 7 times they shouted. But the city still stood defiant, seemingly impervious to the power they claimed to possess. Was this, their God, really going to destroy the walls of Jericho? Would their enemies be allowed to enter the city unscathed? Doubt coiled in his gut like a poisonous snake? Come, but there was nothing he could do. He could only wait and hope that his enemies would eventually tire of their fruitless efforts and give up. But the Israelites were far from giving up. They believed implicitly in the word of their God, Yahweh, who had spoken through Moses, promising them that Jericho and everything in it would be theirs. Yet, as they completed the 6th circuit with no sign of any breach in the walls, doubt began to creep into some hearts. Had God made a mistake? Was he really going to keep his promise? What if the walls remained standing when they returned for the 7th and final circuit? The suspense was thickening to cut with a knife. As they turned towards the city for the 7th time, Rahab, a woman who had put her faith in Yahweh, peeked out from behind the door. Her heart pounded in her chest as she watched the Israelites make their way towards the city. She remembered the words her father had spoken to her about their God, his mighty acts, his unwavering commitment to his people, his ability to part the Red Sea and guide them through the wilderness. Now, she saw these same people return to the city for the 7th time. Hope flickered within her. Would the walls crumble before their feet? Would her city fall? She held her breath, her eyes fixed on the city gates. Outside the city walls, the tension was palpable. Every eye was fixed on the gates. Suddenly, a shout erupted from the ranks of the Israelites. With one voice, they gave their battle cry, and the ground trembled beneath their feet. The sound echoed across the valley, bouncing off the mountains, carrying with it the hopes and fears of an entire nation. As the echo faded away, a stunned silence fell over the crowd. Was this the moment they had been waiting for? Had the walls crumbled? They waited, holding their breath. Then, to their astonishment, the walls began to shake, slowly at first. Then, with increasing violence, the massive stone structures swayed, cracked, and finally collapsed. Terrors erupted as the Israelites surged forward, pouring into the city. They had done the impossible. They had taken Jericho. But how? How did the Israelites manage to destroy the supposedly impenetrable walls of Jericho? And why is this story still relevant today? Join us as we delve into the fascinating account of Jericho's fall and explore the timeless lessons it holds for us. In today's world, we live in a time where science and technology often overshadow faith and spirituality. Many believe that progress and development can only be achieved through rational thinking and empirical evidence. However, the story of the fall of Jericho challenges this perspective, demonstrating that faith in a higher power can lead to extraordinary outcomes. The Israelites' victory over the walled city was not just a military triumph, but a testament to the power of belief. The story of Jericho serves as a reminder that limitations are often self-imposed. When faced with seemingly insurmountable obstacles, humans tend to focus on what is seen rather than what is possible through faith. The Israelites, however, chose to believe in the word of Yahweh, even when the walls of Jericho stood defiantly before them. Their faith in God's promises enabled them to persist when all hope seemed lost. This teaches us that our perception of what is possible can be greatly limited by our lack of faith. Often we fail to see that with God, all things are possible. But what makes the story of Jericho even more intriguing is the role played by obedience. The Israelites did not merely proclaim their faith, they backed it up with action. They obeyed God's instructions to the letter, marching around the city for 6 days, 7 times a day. It may have seemed like a pointless and ridiculous task, but they persisted. This obedience was key to their victory. It demonstrated that true faith is not passive, but active. It involves doing what God has said, even when it appears irrational or ineffective. The Israelites' obedience not only led them to victory, but also served as a powerful testimony to the authenticity of their faith. Their actions proved that they were not just claiming to believe in Yahweh, they truly did. Furthermore, the story of Jericho highlights the importance of perseverance. The Israelites did not give up when they saw no immediate results. They understood that God's timing may not always align with their own, but they trusted in His plan. Their perseverance paid off when the walls of Jericho crumbled on the seventh day, proving that, with God, all things are possible. This teaches us that we should not give up in the face of challenges. Instead, we should hold fast to our beliefs and trust in God's perfect timing. The fall of Jericho is a testament to the fact that faith and obedience can move mountains. It teaches us that we should not limit ourselves or God's possibilities in our lives. Instead, we should trust in His promises and be obedient to His voice. By doing so, we open ourselves up to the extraordinary and allow God to work in our lives in ways we never imagined possible. But the story doesn't end there. The fall of Jericho is not just a tale of military victory. It is a profound spiritual lesson. In the face of fear and doubt, it reminds us to trust in the divine plan, to have faith in God's promises, and to obey His commands without question. It is a call to action for those who believe, urging them to step out of their comfort zones and into the realm of the possible, where with God, all things are indeed possible. In today's society, where science and technology often take center stage, the story of Jericho serves as a beacon, reminding us that faith and spirituality are not outdated concepts, but powerful forces that can shape our lives in extraordinary ways. It challenges us to look beyond the limitations of our own understanding and embrace the infinite possibilities that lie in faith and obedience. So let us take inspiration from the Israelites who, despite facing seemingly insurmountable odds, trusted in God's promises and acted accordingly. Let us learn from their example and cultivate unwavering faith in the face of life's challenges. May the story of Jericho serve as a guiding light for us all, showing us that with God, all things are possible. In the quiet of my room, I write these words, pondering the profound impact of the fall of Jericho. The story resonates within me, echoing the timeless truths it holds. It is a narrative that transcends generations, speaking directly to the core of my being. The bravery of the Israelites, their unwavering belief in the face of adversity, inspires me to be courageous in my own life's journey. It reminds me that limitations are often self-imposed, and that with God, all things are possible. As I reflect on the importance of obedience and perseverance, I am challenged to live a life that is pleasing to God, to obey His voice even when the path ahead seems unclear, to persevere through life's challenges, trusting in God's perfect timing. The story of Jericho is not just a historical account. It is a living, breathing testament to the transformative power of faith. It is a beacon of hope, guiding me through the darkest of nights and reminding me that with God, there is always a reason to sing a song of victory. If you found this insight into the Bible, don't forget to show your support. Your encouragement means the world to us and keeps us motivated to bring these epic stories to life for you. Click that like button and subscribe to our channel. Together, let's embark on more thrilling journeys through history and faith.